The William Edwards book series, the best book series ever, rated 10 out of 5 stars.
This is S.Z. Berg, and now here's Allie Moss performing her hit Corner, followed by my interview with Allie on her experiences with gluten sensitivity.
Trembles and quakes, and your footing suddenly shifts and shakes. Take my hand, we'll hide in the corner, hide in the corner. Take my hand, we'll hide till it's over, till it's all over. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. We have choices to make. We have promises that we can't break. But there is nothing left to lose, so hold on to me, I'll hold on to you. Take my hand, we'll hide in the corner, hide in the corner. Take my hand, we'll hide till it's over, till it's all over. Ooh, ooh. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Take my hand, we'll hide in the corner, hide in the corner. Take my hand, we'll hide till it's over, till it's all over. Take my hand, we'll hide in the corner, hide in the corner. Take my hand, we'll hide till it's over, till it's all over. Ooh, ooh. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la.
Thank you very much, Allie Moss, for that performance of Corner. I understand that there's a little secret that your fans don't know about Corner. Would you like to tell it to us?
Yeah,
I already know.
yeah. Those dudes in the beginning were actually dummy placeholder lyrics, and my producer, Sam Kassirer, he asked me for like every demo I had of all the songs we were working on, and it was he who asked me to leave them in, and kind of they've become they were in, the song was in an advert in the UK, and that portion was like in the commercial. So if he hadn't had me leave them, I don't know that it would have fit as well with that advertisement. So
Very
That's
good.
Sam's doing. They were fake lyrics.
What was the commercial about?
Well, the commercial was for BT Infinity, which is like British Telecom, their broadband new thing that they were launching. And so it sounds very technical, but the commercial was quite magical, which had these like floating things from the sky and unicorns. And so I think kind of fit with just like an ethereal background kind of sound. But
Yeah, no, I can imagine that. It sounds beautiful.
thanks.
And there's another little known piece of information about you that your fans might be interested in, as well as the gluten-free and celiac communities and the food allergy communities, and that is that you were recently diagnosed with a gluten sensitivity. And I understand that you, like the world, is a pizza lover.
Yes, and I live in New Jersey, which is very close to New York City, which is very well known for its pizza. So it's only been a couple months for me, like 4 months. It has changed how I feel to be not eating gluten anymore, but it also has changed. I used to have a blog about sandwiches, and that kind of went downhill from there because I don't find as many places on the road that have gluten-free bread. I still make my own sandwiches, but I can't blog about as many restaurants.
Right,
And
exactly. So what were your symptoms? How did you get diagnosed? It's really hard to put a picture together to figure out that that's what somebody has.
yeah, for me, I had been diagnosed with acid reflux or high acid years ago when I lost my voice suddenly. I had a cold and my voice just never came back. And so I'd been on medication for quite a while, but I still wasn't feeling well, and I would still feel symptoms in my throat. My main things were like feeling, I never felt heartburn or anything like that. I would just feel digestive issues and maybe things that I thought affected my voice, acid-wise. And so I went to a nutritionist, a holistic nutritionist, and it was he who suggested that I had a gluten sensitivity and low acid, the opposite. And so the medicine was kind of not doing, it was making me worse, actually, which is not a cool thing to think about when I'd been on it for so long and paying for it.
Right, exactly. And so did you also reduce or increase the acid in your diet?
Um, Years ago, I had done like an acid reflux diet, so like cut out everything that had acid in it. I did that strictly for 2 years, and it just made no difference for me. So in this time around, I on the medication, I would still sort of eat some of those things anyway. And now I can kind of eat them freely. Oranges and carbonated beverages and all of the things, dark chocolate, not milk chocolate anymore because I don't eat dairy either. But, you know, lots of fun things I've been able to add back in freely now to my diet.
So now the dairy has to do with that time of healing, or is that something else?
I've kind of known I've been slightly lactose intolerant. So that was just a side that I just decided to cut that out as well. And I may experiment with adding some of that back in, but for a season I wanted to take that out completely.
Right, yeah, I understand. As a consequence of the acid-free diet not working, did you ever add in the opposite, like a lot of acids?
I had tried like drinking vinegar things and stuff. I just couldn't handle that. I was a weakling, and so I know I've never actually tried adding in a lot of acidic foods, but my nutritionist, one of the things we may do when I'm home for an extended period of time is have me take hydrochloric acid pills when I'm eating to see if that makes a difference in my further in my digestion. So,
Right, because
but he,
I'm sorry,
sorry, I
go
was
ahead.
going to say because I sing, you can't really do that as an experiment on the road.
Right, right. Because there is a theory of increased acid being helpful for those sorts of symptoms. Now, with regard to finding out that gluten was the root of your problems, your medical condition, were you surprised that he said that? Did it Did you think, oh, that's like other people, I eat pizza?
I was definitely surprised because I'd been to nutritionists before. I'd been to like an ear, nose, and throat guy. I'd been to, gastroenterologists, and he was the first person in my life and to say that to me. And so it was something new, which was exciting, but it was also kind of daunting because that meant I had to drastically change how I was eating and figure out how to eat like without gluten while I was traveling so much.
And the fact that it was a nutritionist, and I know you said he has a PhD, the fact that it was a nutritionist and that a gastroenterologist and other medical doctors had missed it is also a reflection that it's really not well known enough in the medical community. The symptoms are just not well known enough.
I would agree with you very strongly on that. I think that now that I know what symptoms to kind of look for, I think there are family members of mine who have the same intolerance, but so far they won't hear it from me.
Right. And it's a pretty difficult thing to hear. It doesn't make sense. There's so many symptoms and so many different symptoms. And who wants to hear it has to do with wheat and rye and barley? Those are main parts of the foundation of our diet, really, here in this
They're
country.
even in things you don't expect or you don't need
Right.
them in.
That's true.
But
That's true. They're hidden, and they're hidden in foods and they're hidden in medicine.
yes, I just learned that Advil liquid gels have gluten in them.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know you mentioned licorice as well, and that does.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I tweeted about that recently, and a bunch of fans sent me some links to some gluten-free licorice, so I'm going to order some.
The fan saved you. So how long was it before you noticed a reduction in your symptoms? After you came completely off the gluten and no cross-contaminations?
It was about a week that I noticed a brain fog lift that I didn't even know I had, which is crazy. And then about a month in, I felt like so much more energy. My digestion and was like better than ever. Like no, ill effects from anything I ate, no bloating, and like I said, just so much more energy because I think the gluten was making me very lethargic, and I didn't even realize it.
Yeah, these things creep up. Do you still notice improvements now, 4 months into it?
I do. Um, it's like a slow change, I think.
Right.
It's not as drastic as it was initially, but a big thing for me too is just like my weight control and management. This is the longest I work out a lot. I feel like I eat very healthfully, and I had been at a place where I was like, I should be seeing more results from how hard I'm working, and so that is the biggest thing right now is that I'm actually seeing results from the way I'm eating and the exercise I'm doing, and I'm maintaining it and still growing from it. Whereas I think the gluten was kind of throwing everything off so much that I was retaining water and all of that, and I wasn't getting healthier, getting skinnier, as all girls want to do. But
So do you find in these months that there have been peaks and wanes, that some days feel better than others?
yes, but mainly that's because some days on the road I don't feel like I can eat. I eat gluten free, but I don't eat as healthfully as I should because options are limited.
Right.
Uh, not as many hot foods that you can have. I eat a lot of salads,
Yeah.
and we are lucky that I travel with the Ingrid Michaelson band right now. We're on a summer tour, and we have a bus, so we have a refrigerator and a toaster oven and a freezer and a microwave, so you can sort of cook. Um, we make salads. I can have some frozen things I can heat up, and gluten-free bread that I keep in the freezer and stuff like that. But sometimes you just want a regular hot meal like everybody else, and I can't order from the bar menu at the end of the night.
Right. I understand. Did you have any withdrawal symptoms? I have read about that some people experience withdrawal.
I don't think I did really, like, because I've quit sugar and things like that before, and I felt it more with that, like a withdrawal symptom.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
me, I quit like 3 days before heading to South by Southwest. I don't know if you know what that festival is, but it's in Austin, Texas. So it's just like fried foods galore, things dipped in batter and then fried. And I had to kind of search, but I brought food with me and stuff. But that was tempting. That was very tempting.
I imagine. And what do you crave the most now?
I feel like my cravings have changed. So like I don't actually crave carbohydrates and things the way I used to,
Mm.
but there are some foods that I can't get that can't seem to find gluten-free equivalents of, such as beer. I'm not even that big of a beer drinker, but I really haven't found a gluten-free beer that's like good. And when it's a hot summer day, sometimes you just want one. They're okay, but if anyone has any suggestions, any of your readers, I would love to try that.
Okay, we will put a call out for that, especially in the heat of the summer.
I know.
So where are your upcoming performances?
I'm currently on tour with Ingrid Michaelson through the summer. So not my performances, but you can see me on stage with Ingrid Michaelson. We are in New Haven, Connecticut, through kind of like the rest of the East Coast, some Boston. And when I have downtime, I'm working on another record. So
Oh,
I'm not actually doing any hometown or like live performances of my own at the moment because it's too distracting. Um, so look for new music, and I'm going to be putting out a little single soon on iTunes that I did with Bess Rogers. We did a cover of Bye Bye Love by the Everly Brothers, and so we just did a little recording of that. Some of our fans might already have heard it live, but we made a recording, so we're going to release that.
great. And when do you expect your CD to be released?
Probably in 2013. Spring is my goal.
Okay, great. So less than a year.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Well, wonderful. Thank you so much, Allie Moss, for taking the time out and for speaking with us here. And we look forward to hearing more of you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.